Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Organic Matters, the podcast brought to you by the Irish Organic Association. And I'm disturbing poor Fergal Byrne in Kildare this week, and he's trying to get his combine harvester out. He's trying to do a lot of things, but Fergal, something's gone wrong. I walked into the yard. What have I seen in front of me? I can see bits of machinery and a lump hammer and a few other bits and bobs. So what am I looking at and what's gone wrong?
Well, we tried cutting last night, and we thought it was a simple break. We had a Byrne, so we got the Byrne this morning, and then we put it all back together again. And here there's some kind of a shaft broke in it as well. So we have shaft. There's a shaft broke. See this shaft here?
Yeah. And this is the combine, essentially.
This is the head of the combine here. Yeah. So that shaft there is gone. Somewhere in there is gone.
And for what are you harvesting? What have we got here?
Oats. That's oats this year, and it's organic oats here. Look at it, it's lovely and ripe here. Look at it.
What variety are we looking at?
I'm really sure it's Barrow.
And how for the uninitiated, if they were to go into the field, how do they know that the oats are ripe?
Well, you get that little bit there now, and put it between your teeth there, look, right?
Yeah.
And you can feel it how crunchy it is.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's under 20% moisture. It could be 16 or 17% moisture.
And how's it been this year? How's the crop been?
It looks like, I know we've only 2 rounds done, but I'm very pleased what come off on the 2 rounds. It's with the full of the tank of the combine on the field on the 2 rounds. So look, it looks to be up to standard. It looks to be up to, where we
dry weather
affected dry weather and gran, and there's a lovely grain, a lovely colour to the grain and texture to the grain kind of way. And we didn't get it tested. We should have had it tested this morning, but I'd imagine that KPH is good on it as well kind of way. We wanted over 50% KPH. So if we had it over that like in gran, and we had the moisture down to 16 or 17, which we will this week, definitely get this week or maybe less. It should be great, like, and if it does 2 tons a acre, over 2 tons a acre, 2 ton anyway. That's what we're hoping. That's our target, is 2 ton. Yeah. And if we get to 2 ton, we'll be very pleased.
How many acres are you harvesting, and where's it going?
We have 25 acres of organic oats, and it's going to Flavins.
And do you always do organic oats every year? Do you rotate them around to different fields, or what do you do?
There is a rotation. It's between that and I know we haven't got this year. We grow a bit of a combi crop, and in the rotation is red clover as well. So that's where our thing is. We keep the red clover for finishing the cattle in the winter and stuff kind of way, and things like that kind of way, And we give it to both the cattle and the sheep. We found it's great for the ewes in the spring. The red clover silage.
But people can be funny about sheep and red clover. You haven't found any issues?
Well, no. There is an issue in it, but look, it's where the issue is you graze red clover in the back end of the year, so anyway, and you want your ewes go mating there. It's not good that way.
It impacts their fertility if it's fresh clover, but in silage you don't find any issues.
Oh God, no. There's great protein and everything else, and great milk and everything from when they're again and so forth. Very little concentrates. Then at that stage, you should look with organics, like anyway, the cost of a concentration. You have to try and keep it to a minimum, kind of a way,
I'm conscious the heat is beating down on us, so I'm going to take.
Will we go into the shade in here?
I would have to, but actually, there's one thing over here.
Oh yes.
And I can see a massive silver canister in the corner, and it looks very intriguing. So I was wondering if you'd tell me what is this. And I know if anyone listening, we will get to the nuts and bolts of what else you're doing on your farm. But this, I just want you to explain what this is in front of us first of all.
Well, this is we call it our teapot, I suppose, really, but that's
How much tea are you drinking?
What we're doing on the farm, I suppose, really, we'll start maybe from the beginning. We're making this, we're making a real good compost, right? And in the compost, with one batch of compost, and be all the little bells and whistles be put into this particular compost, kind of way. And then when we have that sorted, then kind of way, with that compost we make some tea. And this is kind of our teapot, or kind of way, but it is it's a 300 litres cylinder with a kind of curved bottom on it, and we've air blown through it and stuff kind of way, which is known as a rolling bile, and the air is coming up and is bubbling up through the tea then and stuff kind of way. And what we do then with that stuff, when that's finished, then at that stage, when after 4 or 5 days stewing like that kind of a way, we then put it into we fill our sprayer, just our ordinary farmyard sprayer, we fill that with water, and we put on about 3 litres to the acre of that. We put in some biochar, into it as well, just to keep the feed the bacteria. And we found that work. We found we great grasses and everything this year, to be honest with you. The feed was lovely and green the whole year, was lovely and fresh. And the lambs and cattle throve like anything. Great.
And did you spread it in kind of the springtime when you
No,
when did you spread it?
Now we can spray it at any time, and we sprayed it on the crops at different stage. We sprayed it in the spring, and then as the spring went on, and again the midsummer, kind of we went on and done again. We done the oats. We done the oats twice. We planned on doing it a third time, but just for some reason, just the year just moved on, and it's a faster year than normal years. It is like it's only the 5th of it. What day is today? Is it 10th? Is it? And we missed the third going on to the oats, but the oats is perfect any kind of way, so we were happy enough. But we did put it on a couple of lots of grass. We put it on the red clover after each time and gran, and it did work well. It worked extremely well.
Okay, well, shelter from the heat now.
I
think before everyone gets sunburnt, and then you'll have sunstroke before you even get a chance to harvest these oats. And do you chop the straw back in, or do you bale it and sell it, or what do you do?
No. We'd have to. We bale the straw. We'll use it for our own use, to be honest with you. So that's really what it is, to be honest with you. Look, we table it on here.
Very efficient altogether. So I'm wondering, we'll take a step back, I suppose, for people who kind of aren't familiar with you. So we mentioned 25 acres of oats. What else are you up to on the farm?
We have, for argument's sake, we have 17 suckler cows, and we bring them all to beef, and we get our cattle finished at 2-year-old on a farm. I'm saying to you, I suppose getting carcass weights up to 360, 370 kilos at 2-year-old, with very little meal, to be honest with you, kind of way. We run a Charlie bull, which is it's a big Charlie bull kind of way. Our cows has gone very. I suppose just where we're keeping the replacement heifers has gone very continental as well. They're very nearly all Charlie's gone into at this stage, which is I don't know whether it's a plus or a minus, but just the way it is. I also keep this year we have around 230 ewes as well, and all the lambs is all finished as well on the farm.
Okay. And where do the lambs go?
This year, well, so far, every week since about the 15th or 16th of June, Eddie Mulholland took them Cool Highland and takes them every week and every way. So they're taking 8 to 10 lambs every week and every way. So which is a great cash flow on the farm when you have 10 lambs to go every week. And this year we've no problem getting 10 lambs finished every week. The lambs are finishing up at anywhere between 45 and 46 kilos live weight, and they're coming into about 22 and 23 kilos dead weight. So we're getting a great finish on the lambs and great kill out. So I'm very pleased with them, with the way they throve this year, with no meal so far. Anyway,
Any specific breed of sheep have you changed over the years? Have you found that some things have thrived better in an organic system than others?
Well, look, if you're in sheep, I always think the best thing you have on your farm is a real good ram. And that's where it is. Like anyway, we have a variety of rams. I have blue Texels, Hampshire Downs, an ordinary Texel, and this year we bought in 2 Galway sheep. To be honest with you now. Okay. So that's another thing. When I stay on the sheep and stuff, kind of we sell our wool organically to Yarns and Vibes, and it goes to Donegal as well, kind of way. And we are probably involved in. We're probably the only farmer in the country that's getting selling their wool as going to make yarn. Yeah,
because the price of wool, it's on the floor. I mean, it costs more to shear the sheep for most conventional farmers.
20 cents a kilo or some kind of way. That's what it was. Because it was your man. I had your man to come to collect the wool, and I had some black wool left, and well, I'm getting more than 20 cents for my wool. But
are you going to tell us how much you're getting for your wool?
Now going to kill the golden goose.
More than 20 cents. But that's good, because I guess as an organic farmer you do need to be.
I'm getting a fair price now from Joan in Yarns and Vibes and so kind of way. She's And but look, there was an awful lot of work put into it, like in the last 3 years, kind of a way. We're 3 years. This will be our fourth. This will be our fourth year selling wool to her. Like, to be honest with you, so grand. So it's good, like, kind of way.
Something that I notice with nearly every organic farmer, they're always kind of looking towards the horizon, and they're always flexible to change. To willing to adapt their system if they think it's going to bring in an extra income. Is that something that you found over the years?
No, yeah. Oh, of course, yeah. And it's look grand, and isn't that what life is about? Like, you can't stay doing the same thing the whole time. I suppose that's the reason why people change. Kind of way. That's why I changed in the first place, because I had to see something different, like, kind of a way, And sure, that's about the best about organics. Like, you're using your own initiative more so. To be honest, well, I feel to be honest with you, in kind of a way, and you're using your initiative, or your I suppose what's another word I was looking for to use, but your instinct farming. I'd say that's what more so than anything else, kind of a way, and I feel that's what when we went, organic. We had to farm with more with our instinct.
And you have a young helper over here, Philip.
Yeah, that's Philip. Philip is going to be the farmer here as well. Now he's 11. So
there's such a big question mark over kind of farm viability and the future of family farms. Do you feel that if someone does want to take it on, that you're leaving them something that is viable?
Yes, and I think maybe in more so in organics, because it's very as broad, like, I'm going to way. Like, you can develop into something else on your farm, kind of way, and you have your whole farm then, kind of way. Even, like, no matter what I done now at this stage, like, I'll have my organic status for it, kind of way. If we wanted to do, like, for instance, if we wanted to go milking cows in the morning, everyone said we'd initially have our status immediately. We'd have no lead in time to it, kind of way. We wanted to grow vegetables, we wanted to do more on the poultry, and we wanted to do anything like that, we're already there. And so it is like, it's I'd often thought, like, kind of way, if Philip wanted to go farming, kind of way, and he wanted to stay at the type of farmer that I was at, I can change. It's not so much he can change. Anyone can change. Either him or me can change. You know what I'm saying? Kind of way, and I think there should be another farm income on the farm, just doing something completely different, rather than just a cattle and sheep, what I'm saying, kind of way. And there's loads of options on that, kind of way. Your world is your oyster, I think, to be honest with you, kind of way,
And you mentioned poultry there. Is that a big bit of what you're doing here as well?
Yeah, well, we do. That's bad English anyway. We do turkeys at Christmas, and we do around 300 turkeys, some kind of way, and they're coming in from next week onwards. And actually, this is where we're actually now. This is actually the turkey tullen, if you know what I'm saying, kind of way. So look, we're nice and cool here at the minute, kind of where we are.
And in terms of feeding the turkeys, I know animal feed's gone up an awful lot over the past year. Are you?
I'm nearly afraid. Last year, I'm going to give you last year's prices, so we're going to wait. Last year's the turkey feed was $7.40 to $7.50 a ton for that. I think it was around $7.50 and $7.60 for the growers, and $7.30 for the finisher, and it's over 1,000 now at this stage. So look, it is very severe, kind of way. It is a big jump, like, kind of way.
And how many tons would you go through in the run up to Christmas? Do you have any idea?
Now on Christmas, I'd say I'm lucky to get away with 8. I'd say 8 or 9.
Do you think people are willing, say, if you have to pass on an increase then to the consumers, do you think they're willing to pay that increase if it's an organic turkey?
Well, I would say yes up to this year, right? And I'm a bit worried from now on, because the cost of everything else is after rising as well. The cost of energy and so forth, kind of way, and the cost of living is after rising. And if you put that into it, quite possibly could do it, kind of way. People, kind of way, only so much available income to spend. And if you have, for example, your ESB gone up to, look at, it's going up 14% next week, anywhere in September. You have interest rates hiking and so forth, kind of way, and that mortgage and everything else going up, then, kind of way. This is when we could run into trouble, and I don't know. Well, I hope not, but it was just something that's in the back of my mind. If I'm saying to you that this is there at the back of it all, kind of way, But food has risen as well. So look, if your ordinary conventional turkey is going to be, they're going to go up by the similar amount anyway, if you know what I'm saying to you. So that's just it. Like, but if you want, look at Christmas Day, people don't generally go skimp Christmas Day and so forth. If they want they got an organic turkey last year, they're not going to go halfway and buy a frozen turkey then at that stage. If you know what I'm saying, they're going to keep within what they were at, like, anyway.
And with the organic turkey, would it be about 20% dearer, maybe, or a bit more than the conventional one?
It wouldn't be 20% dearer. It could be somewhere 12 or 13%. I'd say more than 20%. Because look, there's a price in everything. Even I'm saying to you, like, you can't just say, oh, look, I want 150 euros for a turkey. Because that's just not going to happen. If you know what I'm saying to you, anyway, you know. But look at you, we didn't.
You can dream though.
I can dream here now anyway. But look at but it's not going. You know, like, you have to, if you have to sell them as well. There's no point. Now the thing is,
do you sell them direct, or where do they go?
We sell them, most of them, from here. Most of them are sold from here, and then there's a few people buy them then kind of away. Different people buy them, a couple of different butchers buy them from around you kind of way.
And what's the feedback that you get from people?
Oh, geez, they're great, like, absolutely.
Because turkeys are known for being dry. I mean, we even have goose at home. We don't have turkey.
Ah, geez, no, you'll have to come back now. I'll sell. My object now is to sell one to you now at this stage.
Well, we'll have to add that to the list. I don't know if I can accept it. It might be bribery. We'll have to see. I'll have to consult the IOA about that.
Yeah. But look at I will say the organic or the free organic turkey with absolute lovely mice birds and so kind of way, and they're just like last year. They were just absolutely superb. And the gas part about it, what do you think with the nutrition and value and so kind of way? Like, our biggest turkey last year was 16 kilos. 16 kilos dead weight. So that's about 35 or 36 pounds. He was just huge, yeah. Absolutely huge. But you take like that bird to thrive from the middle of 1 or 2 days open in say this week or next week and so forth kind of way, and to get into just before Christmas to get that thrive, if you know what I'm saying to you kind of way. It just had to be actually magically food like kind of way.
I guess you've been organic farming for a while now, and there's this huge emphasis now in the next Common Agricultural Policy to get more farmers in organic. Do you feel like the market is there potentially for more organic produce?
Well, I suppose it is a bit of a chicken and egg situation kind of where, all right, and people will have to step up to the market to sell it, as much as the farmers, if you understand the way, but the other stakeholders involved, they'll have to step up, and Board B will have to step up, and you know, kind of to sell the organic, like but there was one of the things we're saying that they couldn't get the markets because the demand, the stuff wasn't there to sell. The supply of stuff wasn't there to sell, and I suppose that's a problem too, kind of way, right? And if you have a supply of stuff, well, you could have a better chance of selling it. Well, this is what they're telling me now. Whether I'm hope that they are right, even saying, because I'd hate to think that the kind of way that we've everything on our farm at the minute, the present minute, from cattle, sheep to turkeys and to wool and everything, is being sold organically. I'd hate to think in 4 years' time that maybe half of the stuff has been sold and the other half is going to conventional at this stage.
And I guess the final question for anyone out there thinking of converting to organics, what's your advice?
Well, I think every farmer at the minute, no matter what his business is, should seriously consider it. There was lads were saying that you cut back on stock and so forth and everything else kind of way. I don't think we cut back. Well, actually, we didn't cut back that much on stock. We still have as much stock as we ever had in kind of way, right? And we still have our turnover up on our farm and so kind of way. Maybe, and even I suppose if you talk about them kind of way, well, the sheep is worth roughly around 15 or 16% more, and the cattle go worth 15 or 16% more as well. And if you have things like that kind of way, even if you have 1 or 2 cattle less, it still doesn't make any difference, right? You're still going to get the bonus on that kind of way, you know. But maybe some of the people saying shed and accommodation could be a problem, sort of anyway. But look into it seriously. Look into it kind of way, and if you have to put down a small bit of a lie back and so kind of way to get you across the line, be that some way kind of way. I was talking about was getting the biology back into your farm and all that kind of way. That all has a big role to play to get your results on your farm and to get your stock thriving on your farm. I have to do. One of the things as well I was just going to say, to be an organic farmer, you have to be a better farmer. You just have to you have to be able to do things right and so forth anyway, and get your full production of your ground, and have your grasses right and so forth kind of way, and have your stock happy. When you have your stock happy and you're thriving, you'll be there won't be a bother on you, to be honest with you now.
Oh, Fergal, thank you very much for that. That's excellent. I'm going to leave you in peace and let you go back to your oats. I think I think you might need the time to put into that the head of that combine harvester. But thank you very much, and thank you for everyone for listening as well. For anyone who wants to tune into more podcasts, you can subscribe, and we have one coming out every single week. And if you want to find out more information on organics, you can visit www.theirishorganicassociation.ie.